Hi, this is Help Me Rhonda, your deduction diva, Rhonda Johnson with Accountable Solutions, and I brought along my little buddy Tom Bass and the tax professional, and we're here to help you on your journey to working your business like a business so it'll pay like a business. And today's subject is family payroll. Wouldn't you like to do something to pay for those Nike tennis shoes and those ballet lessons and piano lessons? Well, we've got a way you can do it. Hire your kids. Isn't that exciting? Tom, tell them how they can do this legitimately, cover all of the problems that the IRS might have with it.
Well, basically, you get to take a deduction for whatever you pay your children. They can be, probably we're going to get into that on the next slide, but basically what the most important thing to know starting out is that it's an expense deduction for your business for you. So if you pay them up to the full $6,200 a year, it's actually tax-free to them, and it's a $6,200 deduction for you, which basically is going to entitle you to, in the highest tax bracket, at $2,000 just additional refund just on your federal alone. If you're in a state that has taxes, then there's going to be another another significant amount, additional refund based on that too. And at the same time, it doesn't cost your company anything. So it's just a real gift from the government. And so let's talk a little bit in the next slide about how you qualify and what the kids have to do.
Go ahead.
Okay, the children that qualify have to be from 6 to 17. It doesn't mean that when they're older you can't pay them, but at that point it's actually a normal payroll, and there's going to be the typical deductions for Medicare, Social Security, and unemployment tax. But when they're in the 6 to 17 in that golden bracket there, they're actually no deductions. So if you're paying them $250, you're actually going to write them a $250 check. There's several things you have to do to qualify. This is not just write a check and call it payroll, which is we see a lot of people when they first start working with us. They've heard something about this, and so they just say, well, this is my kid's payroll. It's not quite that simple. You have to treat this like a regular payroll, just like an adult does, where there's you have to keep a simple timesheet. Rhonda, you might tell them a little bit about the timesheet, how they need to go about doing that.
Well, Canada has a great rule, and I love it. And it's the kids need to be at an age where they can write out what they've done on their own. It can be in crayon, markers, whatever. And I think that is significant. And I think it doesn't apply to IRS here in the United States, but I think it's a great rule. And I think if the kids are writing out their own time card and saying cleaning room, 2 hours, and you can pay them a normal fee. I mean, you can't pay an 8-year-old what you would pay a 15-year-old for. It just has to be a reasonable amount. But I love the fact that the kids should be able to be at an age, so your 7-year-old must be able to write out cleaning your room, even if you have to work with the letters or how you teach your 7-year-old or 6-year-old, how to work with their letters, how they're writing. I think it's important that they understand what they're doing and that they're accountable for this time.
So what's going to be involved is you have to work with someone that can actually do a payroll for you, and we do that for a very reasonable fee for the year. Like Rhonda said, they need to keep a timesheet. You're going to have to write them checks. They need to have a checking account. But the good news is once the money's in their checking account, you can do whatever you want to with it. You could actually transfer it right back to your business account or to your personal account the next day. You can use the money for anything you want to. It doesn't have to be left strictly with the kids. It can pay for their ballet lessons or their soccer fees, whatever you want it to be.
It can also be transferred back and buy groceries for the family, is what Tom's saying. No one controls how we spend our money on our paychecks, and these paychecks are no different. So just know that the kids' paychecks, it's always nice to give them, I think, a portion of what they're doing. I think that's a good policy to set up with them. As they get older, they're not going to like working for nothing. So set it up so they get 10% or whatever, and the rest of it has to go to savings or however your family income is set up. But when we originally start this, some people just panic and go, I can't pay my kids $200 a month. And we understand that. We know that. So call in, talk to us, strategize, let us know about your kids, your family structure, and we'll help you set up the payroll. All right? It's that simple. Get some instruction. Get some strategizing.
And I think one thing is important. Another thing people tend to think of when they first hear this is, gee, what can the kids do to help me with my business? But the reality is the kids can do anything that you would pay anybody else to do. So technically it doesn't have to have a direct link to the business, even though they might be able to help you. There's things they can do, but for the most part they can do anything that you would pay somebody else to do because, as Rhonda points out, frequently it's just what we're really trying to do is just not only save you some money, because this is just an absolute gift from the government, but you can also, it's a good teaching opportunity for the kids, and also it gets them involved in your business. It makes it much easier when we get into some of the other topics to understand why it's important that everybody that's going on your trip to Hawaii, for example, is involved in the business.
Well, I think the way it affects the business, Tom, is it's anything that allows you to work in your business more. So it may not directly, they may not be invoicing, they may not be putting stickers on catalogs, they may not be doing that, but they're allowing you more time to be on the phone and to actually work your business. So it's anything that allows you more time in your business.
No, you're exactly right.
If you have any questions, our biggest suggestion on payroll is call us, strategize with us. Let us help you decide when you're ready, and let's get going on this the right way. So once again, I am Rhonda Johnson, your deduction diva, and I would love to start having a relationship with you, a strategizing session with you. So give me a call. That is my cell phone at the bottom of that slide, 949-767-7752.